Well, this should need no introduction. It's the Kawasaki H2R. What is it? 310 horsepower. That's it. I don't need to say anything else about it. It's a 310 horsepower motorbike. Kawasaki built this. I've rode them when they first got launched 6 years ago, and with no exaggeration at all, it was properly mind-blowing. At the time, I was riding Panigales and S1000RRs and Lita sports bikes. I was racing in the British Superstocks. I was used to fast bikes, and getting on this felt like the first time I rode a 1000cc bike after getting off a 600. It was just phenomenally quick. It accelerates in 4th and 5th gear like a Panigale accelerates in 2nd and 3rd gear. It just has so much hit, so much speed, and then when you get off it, it's the most mental looking motorcycle I have ever seen. So what are we actually here for today? We've got a phone call from the guys at Carwow. They've got a bunch of pretty special cars and they wanted a motorcycle to race, so the perfect bike for drag racing has to be a H2R Kawasaki. We're going to get it warmed up, get the slicks on the tyre warmers, and then hopefully stay ahead of all the cars as they come at us. We'll see what happens. So I'm just getting the H2R into full death mode. I've left the traction control on setting 1, launch controls on, engine brake controls off, ABS I've left on. I feel like I might need it here on this rough old runway. Just, yeah, getting everything in the correct modes for making it go fast and hopefully beat all the cars they turn up with. Fingers crossed.
That was terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that's the hard thing is understanding the boost off the line. Most naturally aspirated bikes you can set pretty nicely and then just manage it on the clutch, but this is, I mean, you saw it's just bap, 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 bap.
Yeah, very easy.
How much do you have to ride the rear brake?
It does, but it doesn't really help. The launch control on a bike just kind of holds the revs,
right?
But it doesn't really change how much it wheelies.
What about the BMW system on theirs? Theirs is quite good because they use like some of the car tech, don't they?
Yeah, and they got their anti-wheelie on them.
Yeah. So you could do with that on this?
Wheelie control. You could, yeah, but I have to say, even the sort of wheelie control on the Beamer, it's kind of catching the problem. So if you can not trigger it, you're faster. Right. If that makes sense. Same as like ABS, you can outstop it without triggering it.
You're not supposed to. What? That's what you do in the brake tests.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
So
you're straight under the bus there, didn't he?
Do you think you'll be looking around a bit? Do you think you'll be looking around a bit?
I can do,
where
yeah.
he's going.
But as in, you're not going to look at him, or are you just going to be focused?
I'll probably do a bit of both.
Okay.
On the start line, because you're going to give me the stats on the car. We're going to give you a radio.
Yeah.
And then you just probably check up the floor.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I can walk over to the car if you want, if that's easier.
No.
No. No, stay away from me.
No, stay away. Your leathers. Kind of, you're looking too sexy.
You weirdo.
Yeah.
That has not got any less impressive in the last 6 years. Runways are normally boring on a motorbike, they are not boring on this. Holy shit. I've been a really good boy recently. I've been very good at not swearing on Bike World reviews, but it's all gone backwards. This thing, you know how some things are so awesome and then you build them up in your mind and then it becomes a bit of a disappointment when you then ride them again? This is nothing like that. This is scarier than I remember it being. I am more in love with this bike than ever. I'm definitely terrified of it. And I'm just riding it in a straight line. How can that be so scary? We're now racing a Lamborghini Huracan. As standard, they're not turbocharged. That one has got 2 giant turbochargers poking out the back of it. Apparently, standard gearbox and all the engine internals are standard. It's just 2 turbos, a charge cooler, and then remapped. It looks phenomenal. It's got beautiful big drag race semi-slick tyres on it. It's apparently very, very quick, and over the quarter mile, I think it's going to be incredibly close to the bike. If I can get a perfect launch, if I can hang on to the H2R, I think I can give the car a run for its money, but it's going to rely on me doing my best ever racing start.
Hey Chris, how you doing, mate?
Hey dude, how's it going?
I'm good. Rather than I'm sat in this seat, not having to wear a load of dead animal than being sat on that crazy machine, which I need you to tell me all about. Like, tell me about it, the engine, the power, the torque, whatever. Just tell me about the bike.
Yeah, it's a pretty special one as bikes go. This is Kawasaki's H2R, so it's a 310 horsepower, 214 kilo bike, makes 165 newton meters of torque. They were around 60 grand when Kawasaki bought them out as a production machine. 4-cylinder, 1000cc. Yeah, it's wild even by bike standards.
When people talk about acceleration, what really matters is your power to weight ratio. So what I'm going to do is flash up the power to weight ratio of the car up on the screen now, and now we need the power to weight ratio of the bike. But I'm going to include you because you're how heavy, Chris?
So fully kitted up in my leathers, I'm about 80 something kilos, so pretty much bang on 80 kilos.
Chris, normally in a Carwow drag race, what we'll do before we race is to rev up our engine. So I'm going to go first. Have a listen to this. So my V10, all 5.2 litres of it, red lines at 8,500 RPM. Let's hear your bike. What does yours rev line at?
So my 4-cylinder 1000cc bike red lines at 14,000 RPM.
You know, it's got a noisy exhaust on it, but what I really heard was the induction sound from that supercharger. Do it again. Just like sucking air, it's crazy, isn't it? I'm glad you're on it and I'm not on it because it just looks scary. Anyway, let's do this race. I have no idea what's going to happen. It's going to be whether you can put your power down and keep your front wheel on the ground, really.
Absolutely. I've never been scared on a straight line race on a bike until I got on this one. Just went straight up. That thing comes out of the gate like an absolute rocket. The H2R, whatever I do to it, it's just going straight up off the line. The clutch is just grabbing and it goes up, and in that split second the race is done. Once we're rolling, there's very, very little to choose from between the two. Interesting thing to note, it's a quarter-mile race. I'm not at full throttle till past the halfway mark of the race because I just can't get any more throttle on without it going upside down. This thing's insane. Yep.
40 miles an hour.
Yep.
You can be whatever gear you want.
Yep.
Okay, it's your choice. And then we'll do one from 60.
Yep.
Okay. Now out there we have a half-mile marker.
Yep.
And a full-mile marker. Half-mile is 2 cones.
Full mile's 3.
3. See what happens.
Cool.
Right. Now I'm going to count it in.
You'll go beep, beep, go.
Okay.
Easy.
And it'll be that case.
I'm going to try and cheat this a little bit because what I need is to build the boost. So I'm going to run against my back brake a little so I can get the boost coming on and hopefully stay ahead of the Lambo. Okay, here goes nothing. Giving us as much time as possible, get ourselves straight, get ourselves going, and see what these things will do. Celebration of automotive awesomeness.
I didn't really go all the way to the mile hard because it was just foregone conclusion. Bang! It's crazy.
That's the longest stoppie I've seen in a while. That car, yeah, it's been a long time since I've been smoked on a bike by a car. I think it's never happened since I had a moped. That thing is something else, and the bike has definitely got the edge in performance, but trying to get the power down on the bike is so difficult, and that's where the car makes its advantage felt. But car won today, bike won some of the races. Things with wheels are awesome. So what you can't see is Matt has just put down his coffee in his tarmac bar because he's been working so hard, bless him.
Now you've just like lifted the veil, I may as well just carry on.
Yeah, don't waste it. Dude, it's been an absolutely amazing day to race. Like I said a few times on camera, we get invited to lots of car versus bike things. We rarely have to bring a H2R and we rarely get beaten. Today, that Lamborghini. What's it like to drive?
It just launches so well because obviously 4 wheels, lots of weight. I don't have to worry about wheeling. I don't even have to worry about it spinning up its tyres. It just hooks up and goes. Thing is though, it's quite expensive. So that car you can buy it second hand for like 130 grand, then you've got to spend 40 grand on the mods, which in the modding world actually isn't too bad.
No.
Because that engine's really good. The 5.2 litre naturally aspirated V10, you can just put 2 turbos on it, ECU remap, and it'll give you like, that's got 1100 horsepower. So it's nuts.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do that much work to the engine or the gearbox, it just does its thing.
It just takes it.
But you don't have to be particularly skilled or brave to launch it and get a good time in it. So that's good for me. Whereas on the bike, I mean, what was that like?
That was, yeah, it was hard work today, definitely. Getting it off the line, you know, you could see in probably out your side window, it was like a pogo stick going up, down, up, down, up, down. I think the thing that blew my mind is that I can't use full throttle until pretty much 4th gear. 3rd gear, you can almost get full throttle. There's no other bike I ride that's like it. It just, and then I did one run when we sort of did the full length,
and I managed to get 215 mile an hour and back to a dead stop in a mile.
Okay, now I'm going to tell you this now. Quite often there's hares that run across the runway, and they're usually suicidal. And we've had one hit a car, but I wouldn't like to think what would happen if you encountered a hare at 215 miles an hour.
I'm going to go and have a lay down now.
Yeah, I think I will too, but let's not do it together.
Yes. It's been an absolute pleasure playing here today with the Carwow guys. They're petrol heads just like us, whether it's 2 wheels or 4. Chucking superchargers and turbos on things and going flat out is always going to be awesome. I love it.